Welcome to all you Leos. This is your yearly horoscope for 2021. Precise, concise, not too long, general, of course. So take what resonates. And so I hope that at the end of the video, you will be able to say, okay, for the Leos, this and that is mostly important. And Leos are in the spotlight for 2021. It's going to be, in general, again, more significant than other years. And why is that? Because when we get outer planets, in your case, in fixed signs, things are shifting. Big things are shifting. And this is the case for you. Jupiter and Saturn arrived in Aquarius. That is your opposite sign of relationships. And it's going to bump into Uranus. It squares up to you throughout like the whole year. It's going with peaks and so on, but it's going to bump into Uranus in Taurus. And that is the highest point of your horoscope. Now, what does this mean? So this is the main thing for the fixed signs. For other signs, there is more like the nodes are a bit more important. For you, it's less. It's not really bad, the transits of the nodes for you. And the nodes gives us information where to head towards. But for you, definitely the Saturn-Uranus square, this is very important for you. This is life-changing for some of you. Now, who's going to feel it? All the Leos will feel it. Who's going to feel it in particular? The Leos who've got planets between 5 to, let's say, 13, 14 degrees of Leo. And whether it is your ascendant, your moon, or your sun sign. So that is for the Leos who were born between like the 28th of July up until like the 7th of August. So those Leos will feel it the most. Now, what is going on? But others as well. So what is Saturn Uranus all about? Uranus is about, I want to change. I want to change. I'm living in a rut. I want to free myself up. And this is happening in your highest house of the horoscope, which is your work. Or if you're not working, it's your social status. So the status of I'm married, I'm single, and whatnot. Uranus is showing there that you want to change in that. Okay, so it could be work, it could be I want to, what I see quite often with Uranus in the 10th house is definitely to be your own boss, or at least working for a boss that gives you the freedom. That's, for all Leos, going to be very important with Uranus in your 10th house. So there could be some energies or you trying to break free and trying to get independent, doing your own business. And there is an opportunity to do so. Absolutely. You've got the green light to do so. But in a slow way, because Saturn is restricting you there a little bit. And this comes from a significant relationship, the 7th house, or even a business partner, which is also the 7th house. So having this Saturn in the 7th house is like a testing time when it comes to relationships. Not necessarily bad, but it's really a testing time of, okay, this relationship, is it still working for me? Do I still fulfill my needs? Are their needs still fulfilled? That kind of energy. So, for instance, very simple example could be that you want to work for yourself, you want to take the risk there of having your own company, and your spouse is saying, what? Are you crazy? I mean, in these times, are we going to do that? You see, that is the kind of classical clash that could happen. Now, that doesn't mean to say that you can't just develop those Uranian qualities. On the contrary, but you will have to do it with some rules there, some regulations there, and a bit slower than you had in mind. Okay, so a lot of Leos are gonna liberate themselves when it comes to work. The Leos, especially that particular degree there, if you had enough at work, you're gonna explode either, or you're gonna say, look, enough is enough. I'm going to have the courage. I'm going to take those actions. And yes, you could have a bit of resistance there of someone who's giving you a hard time. Well, I think Leos can handle that. I think when you ultimately, Uranus is of course a more outer planet than Saturn is, and ultimately Uranus is about renewal. So you need some renewal there. Could also be in your social status. Maybe you've been single for such a long time and now you're saying, I've had enough. But then really going back to the dating area, for instance, is giving you a bit of a hard time. Could be something simple as that as well. Or you've been together with a boyfriend and a girlfriend for over like 10 to 15 years or maybe 20 years, and all of a sudden you want to change your status. You want to get married, or you want to get divorced. So all these things can, depending of course of your personal situation, these changes are possible. But again, slowly but surely, you will have to timeshare between the old and the new. It's not definitely all of a sudden something new. It's about, you take on the old and you consider the old as well, and you let in piece by piece the new. So therefore, it's a good energy, because when you've got Uranus alone, it's restlessness. And the positive side of having this Saturn is that you're doing this change, career, social status, you're doing this change in a tempered way. And for a lot of people, this is actually a good thing. At the same time, you're having Jupiter also crossing your 7th house. And that means that relationships will become more meaningful than ever. So yes, there are tested. There could be, if you're single, there could be definitely coming someone new in your life, maybe more than one, because Jupiter means a lot. Could be possible if you're lucky. Then of course you've got the luxury to choose. That could be a problem as well. But anyways, Jupiter represents good people who are very positive towards you, who've got your best interests. These are the Jupiterian people. When you've got Jupiter crossing your 7th house, it really means like attracting people who are positive, who are joyful, who are buoyant, and who really wants the best for you. So very, very open people. Also could be someone who is from a different culture, or at least a different background. That is also represented here. Now, when it comes to, so this is the most stressful aspect for you, okay? Because there is some friction there, but again, friction and a square means that you have to be, it's a bit of a push and a bit of a pull at the same, it's a bit of a juggling. But again, I think you will do well with that. Because on the other hand, other things that are going on are quite positive. The North Node is in your 11th house in Gemini. That is sextiling your energy. I mean, the South Node is even trining your energy. So that means new friends could be coming in, new associations, or people of like-minded, like-minded people. Also goals for the future. This is all favored. To emphasize and to focus on that area of your life is actually what the universe is pointing towards, because the North Node is about, yes, explore. So it's a lot about, maybe doing some workshops, doing some, the 11th house is the friend's house as well. So you should be enjoying more friends, and also new friends, friends that have that unusual energy, because that's the North Node, maybe from, again, different backgrounds than you have, and it can give you a lot of joy. It's, after all, it's Gemini, which is very joyful, witty, and really pleasant energy there. So you could make some new goals for the future. You could definitely, it's a bit more of getting away from, which is the South Node in your 5th house, getting away from your own self, so to speak, and from your own uniqueness, and how do I match in with other people? How do I connect with other people? Yes, I'm unique, I know that, but like everybody else, but how can I, on an airy level, on an enjoyable level, How can I get along with other people? It's very, when you have a business of your own, this is very good to expand, because the 11th house is also financial house, which is the second house of your 10th house. So if you have your own business, you could really explore there through social media, through networking. It could really, really expand because of the North Node there. That's a very, very nice energy for you. And then the rest is a bit the same like last year. You still have Saturn, not Saturn, Pluto, still in your sixth house of your day-to-day routine. So you do try to transform through your work or through your health as well. So health could be having some transformational energy there. And Neptune in the eighth house is also the same as last year. I think that is quite spiritual. That is quite your interest maybe in the occult or even in astrology. And it's quite compassionate towards your own deep psychological understanding. It's a good time to understand yourself on a deeper psychological level and to have a bit more compassion for yourself. Yes, very interesting time, very interesting time. Last but not least, there's going to be a Mercury retrograde in February in Aquarius, and that's your opposite sign. So for relationships, that is a pivotal, a very important month for you. So that could mean there is some changes there. There is definitely better communication or more true communication coming up for you, or things that come to the surface that you understand each other better. And when you are single, there could be someone there that is catching your eye. A very mercurial, very witty, very clever person that catches your eye. Could be turning into something more. Anyway, this is what I have for you for 2021. I think quite exciting. Yes, big changes can happen when that goes with the personal astrology, and but also good things like the North Node in that 11th house. Enjoy that. Thank you so much for watching. See you next time.